Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Punked Out Podcast. Today, I am so stoked because I am going to be joined by Matty Arsenault from A Loss for Words. And A Loss for Words has been one of my favorite bands forever and ever, so this is just kind of like a dream come true. He's a super talented vocalist and has been my idol for the longest time vocally, and I'm just super excited to chat with him, and I hope you guys enjoy our chat as well. Without further ado, Matty Arsenault. So thank you for joining me and making the time for this. I really appreciate it. I remember in 2012 seeing you and Vanna at the Glass House in Pomona, and that's like one of my greatest memories. I was in high school, I think, or a little bit after high school. Do you remember that show?
I do remember that show. Yeah, of course I remember that show. That was I think that was actually the first day of that tour, to be honest.
I guess before we just jump into A Loss for Words, I do want to know, like, maybe just like a little bit about you, like growing up. Like, have you always wanted to make music? Have you always been a singer?
Yeah,
like, was that always a thing for you?
When I was a little kid, I got into a group called Shy. They're like an R&B group. So I was like super big into R&B. Like I grew up in R&B, and hip hop was my first thing that I was into. And I'm still like super into it. I'm not sure if you see my Instagram and stuff, but I post R&B shit all the time. Like 90s R&B is my shit.
Right.
So that's kind of how I got into like singing and stuff. And then I used to work at a pizza shop, and that's how I kind of got into punk rock. Was all the kids that were skateboarding and shit like that at the pizza shop that I worked at. I was like in 6th or 7th grade, working illegally under the table. But yeah, they started like showing me like Saves the Day, New Found Glory, which obviously I always get love for my boys in New Found Glory.
Hell yeah.
I just wanted to be a singer though. Like I always just sing R&B. I used to be like in little R&B groups and shit like that. Like just like singing. And me and my friend Will Price used to like dance around and sing when we were like in like 5th, 6th grade, all that stuff. But yeah, I always wanted to be a performer. I used to put on like little shows for my family and shit like that with like a fake acoustic guitar and all that stuff. So yeah, no, it was cool.
Coming from like the R&B scene, how did you get into the pop punk scene and eventually come into A Loss for Words?
Yeah, I mean, obviously kind of goes back into like the pizza shop. Like that's how I was introduced to like punk rock, hardcore. It was more punk and hardcore at first. Also pop punk. I guess kind of all of it in once, but I guess the kids I was like rolling with were more into like punk rock and hardcore. But I kind of liked, because of the singing aspect and stuff of the pop punk stuff more. So like, kind of transcended into that stuff. And then when I was in high school, I met up with a kid named Danny Poulin, who I started A Loss for Words with back in high school. I mean, we're talking, 24 years ago we started this band.
Wow.
So yeah, we met, and yeah, we kind of just like bonded over New Found Glory. We're like into both genres of music, whatever. But yeah, we did the pop punk thing, started a band, started jamming in his basement. We were doing like graffiti and stuff like that, and just like, just hanging out, watching movies, playing music all the time. And his mom was never really home, so we would jam all like anytime we wanted. And then yeah, kind of moved on from there. Like obviously switched the members, people that weren't really down. But I mean, we were all between the ages of 13 and 16, and we kind of were like the same band. Up until like 2004, we made a couple changes, but obviously high school we had like people in and out, but overall it was mainly like me, Danny, Mikey, in the high school side of things, and then Marky joined the band, and yeah, I mean we were a band for 25 years. It's kind of fucking crazy if you think of it.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, because I was looking at it like kind of like the public releases. They are a span of like, you got like a 15-year discography. Like if you look at Spotify, like with the first being These Past 5 Years, and then Motown Classics.
Yeah, like, so I mean even before These Past 5 Years, we had lots of demos. And if you look on our Spotify, we actually have like odds and ends thing, and it's like all of our music from like high school until like, so basically anything from These Past 5 Years before we put on like a 2-disc
the odds and ends part 1 and 2, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of like funny. I mean, Mikey just put it out just because why not? I mean, we're not
Yeah.
like a real full-time band anymore, and we don't really give a fuck. So it's like we're not
Oh.
embarrassed of what it is. But the only thing I hate is that comes up first, like, is it's like not.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
But you know, the real ones know.
Yeah. The real ones though.
The
If
real
you're
ones
looking to
know.
do a Lost Words for the first time, don't look up odds and ends. That ain't the one.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I was so stoked to ask you about the Webster Lake EP because honestly, that EP has had like such a huge impact on me personally for some
Oh,
reason.
hell
Like
yeah,
that
hell yeah.
EP, like from like I wanted to play harmonica because of Highway 24 Revisited and
No,
that
that's cool. That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
it
No,
is.
that's cool. So Marky's always been the dude. He's always done like slide guitar and harmonica and shit like that. So Marky's always been like cool on that front. But so Webster Lake, the whole like story behind that was we were going on tour with 4 Year Strong, This Is Hell, and I'm the Avalanche. And I wonder, sometimes my parents have some little posters in this room actually. There's like two random. I'll show you those after. But
Sure.
yeah, so we did that tour, and the Kids Can't Lose was supposed to come out, but it wasn't going to get mixed and mastered in time. So we called our friend Chris Curran. We're like, yo, we're going on this tour. This was like 2007. We're like, we need to get something out. And so we went to Webster Lake. Well, that's, where the studio is at. That was where his parents lived, and we
Oh,
recorded in
okay.
his basement. So that's why we call it Webster Lake. But yeah, so we just put that out. So we were on the 4 Year Strong, This Is Hell, and I'm the Avalanche tour, releasing an acoustic record because our full record wasn't ready to come out yet. So our whole career could have been different potentially if our real record, because we were supporting an acoustic record on that 4 Year tour. I mean, obviously we weren't playing acoustic songs. We played some of them like sped up and stuff, but it was just it was kind of a mess, to be honest. We the people that recorded our record kind of let us down. So, but it is what it is. Hey, we just got in the van and went for it. So it is what it is.
No, that's awesome. I know, like, I think that's what's really cool about A Loss for Words is because you guys kind of just like went and did it. Like I noticed there's so many songs that you've like redone or like had recorded and put like you had Wrightsville Beach and then you had
Yeah,
like
because
yeah
Riceville Beach kind of like it's kind of one of our biggest songs, honestly. Like, and
yeah
it's cool because it really wasn't. I
meant
mean,
to
we didn't
be.
have any intentions for any of those songs to be bigger than anything, but like All Roads Lead Home and Wrightsville Beach kind of like took off, and it's actually that record's really important to us. One of our best friends actually passed away, and he had bought that CD, and that was like the last CD he listened to when he passed away, and like he really loved that CD. Um, so
Wow.
All Roads Lead Home, that was his song, and it
Oh, I got chills.
kind of like has like it's almost like it was written a little bit about a kind of scenario such as that. But yeah, that record actually means a lot to us. And Daniel, the kid who did the artwork, passed away like I think like 4 or 5 years ago. So the kid who actually designed the art is no longer with us either. And that he drew that was hand drawn. That album and stuff. Yeah, like there's a lot of like cool things that are kind of like that record's kind of special, to be honest.
Wow, that's I kind of got chills like when you said that, and especially when you said "All Roads Lead Home" was like his song because
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
actually my favorite song off of that EP. And
that's cool.
I feel something like when I listen to it, like I get chills. Like I that whole album, I sing at the top of my lungs. Like that
That's
is
good. That's good. I mean, it's cool to hear. Like even when I ran into you
at
at the
emo
emo night,
night.
it's cool. It's cool that we still got people out there and like I mean, it happens more often than I would have thought. But like I'll be at the airport sometimes or wherever, and people are just like, "Yo, you're in a Lost Words," and I'm just kind of like, "Yo, that's kind of cool." I mean, we weren't like a famous band or anything, but it's cool that people still rock with us like that. It's cool. Very,
Yeah,
we're very appreciative of that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like this was art. We're all best friends. We all still talk. Like this isn't like we never got together to try to be famous or any of that kind of corny shit. Like we just did this because it made us feel happy and we got to explore. We got to leave our small town. You mean, and got to go explore the world together. So we're blessed.
and you can really tell that through your music. Like the Kids Can't Lose is also like like one of the top like pop punk albums for me, and probably like so many people.
Mhm.
Um, like what's your guys' kind of like writing process like? Like do you all kind of write, or do you all write your own parts? Do you write lyrics? Like how does that work for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's our band is just it's like whatever. That's why there's so many songs that sound different than the other songs, just because we always had like just a good democracy as a band. Like it's like you have an idea, cool, we'll try to work with it. You mean? And Marky wrote a lot of songs, Mikey wrote a lot of songs, Nevada wrote some songs, even Jackie wrote some songs. I wrote a couple songs, but mostly Marky and Mikey were like the main writers. And yeah, I mean, but we all like work like I love melody, so I love like singing over and just riffing melodies, and then Marky would help or Mikey would help me with lyrics, and we'd all work together on stuff. And our band was just cool. We just had fun. We it was a real like it was a real like it was a good time, and everybody was involved. It wasn't no one tried to like hog all the music. Even like Marky or someone, if he had a song, he would be open to letting people like, yo, what if we try this part? Like, yo, and he'd be like, yeah, let's do that. Like he wasn't like, no, it's my part. Like, you know, Mikey was a little like that. Mikey's my brother. I'm gonna call you up, Mikey. Sometimes you get a little, you hog your parts a little bit. But hey, I still love you, and your songs are awesome.
Hell yeah. No, that's cool. It kind of like, because you've got, like, for the pop punk scene, I feel like you have a very unique vocal. Honestly, like, honestly stoked, because, like, you have been one of my vocal idols, like, forever.
Oh, that's cool.
For sure.
Cool. I
And
mean, I think now that you know that it came, that's why like we did the Motown cover record. Like I'm influenced by R&B vocals. That's why like I think my voice I have little trills and things like that. Like because I come from that R&B background. You know what I'm saying? So like
yeah.
I think that's why my voice maybe sounds a little different than because even it's cool like Derek from State Champs, like that's like my little brother. You know what I mean? He's always like, yo, you were one of my favorite singers. Joey from iHow, you know, great singer. Like a lot of the like Derek and Joey also have like those
Yep.
R&B. Ollie from Broadside, also
I was
another
about to say
cool
Ollie from
voice.
Broadside.
Yeah.
Johnny Craig, like.
Oh, Johnny. I mean, yeah, Johnny. Well, Johnny Craig, he definitely is just. I mean, I knew him a lot back in the day. I think he has one of the best voices. Obviously,
Yeah.
Different things maybe prevented him from going to the top. But I mean, I respect Johnny on his vocal stuff. I mean, no one can take that away from him.
No, I just watched him a couple of weekends ago in my hometown for the 15-year Amarosa anniversary for
No
the.
shit.
Yeah, dude, and still he even lost his voice.
That dude had the best voice on Warped Tour. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, he's a god. And it's funny you mentioned Ollie from Broadside, because Oliver from Broadside, he has that R&B background too, and and it's a lot of like these pop punk vocalists like kind of have that, and those are I'm usually like super drawn to like vocalists like that. So it's just I think it's really cool, and like not a lot of people know like that there's an influence there like from R&B, which is really cool. It's funny. I was a really big fan of Vanna, like, and you guys at the same time, and I noticed like
we came up together. Boston, baby.
That's
Boston
what
in the house.
Okay, I was wondering, because I was like, okay, you had Davey in the Raining Excuses, and then you had Evan Farmicus also do vocals for the same song but acoustic, right?
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of Evan.
We had Davey in the video, and then we had Evan in the acoustic version.
Yeah.
On Webster Lake 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we grew up with those guys. I mean, we knew Vanna since they played their first show. Like, we all grew up in the same area, and like us, Vanna, Therefore I Am, 4 Years Strong.
Mm-hmm. Boston. Hey guys, unfortunately the rest of the footage got kind of messed up, so I couldn't use it, but I am really grateful for whatever was there and whatever conversation that we were able to capture. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. It was a dream come true for me to chat with Matty Arsenault, so I'm grateful for whatever was captured. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.